Hey everyone, welcome back to Gaming Update. I'm your host, Brendan West. Now, this is the part of the episode where I usually apologize for not uploading a video in the last 9 months. Jeez. All right, well, in our absence, CJ and I have been very busy. CJ's been developing his career and the relationship that he has with his friends and family, and I've been working studiously on my Saturday Night Live audition tape. Oh, what's that? You want to hear a piece of that? Well, I think we can find time. Hey, SNL. So I've got a few celebrity impressions for you guys, and I hope you enjoy. So first up is former President Barack Obama as a bank robber. Put your hands up, put the money in the bag, and hand it on over. Now I don't want to see any funny moves. Next up is former President George W. Bush as a bank robber. You take the money from the safe, you put it into the bag, and you take the bag and hand it to me, because I'm robbing you. Next up is former President Bill Clinton as a bank robber. My manager says that only doing impressions of former politicians will make my audition irrelevant, but I mean, Saturday Night Live hasn't been relevant since 2016 either, so it seems like a perfect match. Thankfully, while CJ and I have been absent for the past 9 months, nothing of any real significance has occurred within the gaming community anyways. I mean, everybody is still either playing Fortnite, watching somebody else play Fortnite, or complaining that everybody's still talking about Fortnite. However, recently, a subject within the gaming community has emerged that's compelling enough to divert my attention away from my inevitable path to safe yet politically limp-wristed comedy terrestrial TV fame and come rushing back to YouTube to put together my gaming update set. So we're back. This past month, the video game community has been ablaze with this discussion revolving around the merits of implementing an easy mode into From Software's latest action RPG, Sekiro. And really by ablaze, I mean one Forbes writer got a wild hair up his ass and wrote an article saying that From Software is disrespecting players by not implementing an easy mode, and the entirety of the video game community came out against him. Well, I'm not one who's above kicking a man while he's down, and YouTube's all about beating a dead horse, so let's sink our teeth into the subject a little further. In the Forbes article, contributor David Tier writes, "There's a lot of talk about respecting the players when it comes to not including an easy mode, an idea that all players can and should play this game in this particular punishing way. And yet, I think the lack of an easy mode showcases the exact opposite. It shows an almost stunning lack of respect for players with the idea that they cannot be trusted with their own gameplay experience, that even those who want a challenging game would somehow be lured by the siren song of lower difficulties and destroy their own experience because they're too impatient or immature to know what they actually want." Well, needless to say, the internet did not react well to this viewpoint, and I can't say I entirely blame them. I mean, what do you want From Software to do? Like, develop some kind of optional cooperative system where players can invite other people into their game to help them defeat bosses? I mean, that would go against everything that From Software has worked so hard to stand for. Now, as somebody who's beaten every From Software game since Demon's Souls, I don't feel like I have anything to prove here, so I'm happy to admit that this game has me struggling as well. Yeah, I, for the life of me, cannot get past this chained ogre in Ashina Outskirts. I don't even think this is an actual boss. I think it's a mini boss. I can't beat it. Come on. Oh, fuck! The solution that David Tier advocates for at the end of this article is actually one resembling the game Celeste, where players were provided a robust customization system that allowed them to custom tailor the difficulty to their exact tastes. Now, admittedly, I've never played Celeste because I thought it was a video game adaptation of the show Steven Universe, and I'm not entirely sure that it isn't, so I'm not surprised to hear that this game's handing out participation trophies. And is this really the standard that we want to set for video game difficulty settings? That developers are just going to allow us to fine-tune the mechanics of the game until it provides us with our exacting specifications of difficulty? And if the end result is that you're just able to fine-tune a level of difficulty that you know that you're capable of overcoming, are you really overcoming anything at all? I mean, at that point, is that even technically still a victory? Oh, Ray Romano, that's who I forgot. I have this great Ray Romano impression. All right, this is Ray Romano as a bank robber. Deborah, put the money in the bag, Deborah. Do what I say, Deborah, no! That's right, I forgot, that one sucks, that's why I didn't include that one. All of these points seem to lead to the contention around whether or not players should have the right to win. Do video games' unique medium mean that they should facilitate lower skilled players? For more on this, here's a clip from Inside Gaming, which addressed this subject last week.
You may have heard by now that some are calling for an easy mode in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That's a pretty spicy topic, I know, but first let's take a look at this clip from comedian Dara O'Brien.
You cannot be bad at watching a movie. You cannot be bad at listening to an album. But you can be bad at playing a video game, and the video game will punish you and deny you access to the rest of the video game.
On a very surface level, he's right. You can't be bad at a movie or a podcast or an album to the point that it will literally block you from enjoying it. The only barrier to, say, reading a book is your own literacy.
All right, pump the brakes, Timberlake, because I think you might be woefully overestimating my ability to do any of these things. You know, I wasn't allowed to watch the rest of Avengers Endgame when the theater staff discovered that I had smuggled 7 liters of soda and a portable popcorn maker and was hosting a competing refreshments counter from within the theater. I can't sing along to most of popular music now because I'm not famous enough to get away with saying the N-word, and I didn't get to finish reading Moby Dick because I didn't realize when I purchased it that it's not a romance novel. The point I'm trying to make is that harsh realities can interfere with your ability to finish conventional media as well. And yeah, you know, I did pay $60 for Sekiro, and I can't seem to get past the 30-minute mark, but I still feel like I got my money's worth. You know, I just gotta get a little bit better. I just gotta keep trying, and eventually I'll oh, fuck. What am I doing? I've spent $60 on this game that I can't play. I gotta figure something out here. You know, there's gotta be something to this easy mode thing. I just gotta find the right angle.
However, at the time, we didn't understand that a so-called easy mode overlaps with a very different and very important issue: accessibility. Players with disabilities are often barred from even attempting to play a game at its intended difficulty because it's physically impossible. Accessibility activists are not now, nor have they ever, asked for an easy mode. Instead, as Steve puts it, they'd like an equal mode.
People are just asking for the right to struggle.
Oh, Christ on the cross, that's perfect. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, we're not asking for an easy mode, we just want a variation of the game's difficulty that presents less challenge than the default. That's genius.
Many will point to the fact that there are players with disabilities who have been able to play super difficult games and triumphed despite their disability. If they got good, then why can't everyone?
I applaud any gamer with disabilities who is able to do the things that I'm fighting for. There are gamers with disabilities who can play Dance Dance Revolution, but it doesn't matter what I do in my personal life. I will always be somebody in a power wheelchair, and I will never be able to tap dance. So there is no reason that we shouldn't have options for those people who can't.
Now, this is a very important point because it addresses the immense variation from within the disabled community. Obviously, physical disabilities can vary greatly from one person to another. So to say that because one person is able to accomplish something means that everybody else should, it's just ridiculous on its face. And that doesn't even take into account the myriad of mental disabilities. You know, mental disabilities are like Pokemon. We thought we had it all figured out in the 90s, but now there's more than any of us care to keep track of, and it seems like we're just making them up as we go along. On the subject of increasing accessibility in video games, God of War developer Cory Balrog said, "Accessibility has never and will never be a compromise to my vision. To me, accessibility does not exist in contradistinction to anyone's creative vision, but rather it is an essential aspect of any experience you wish to be enjoyed by the greatest number of humans as possible. Accessible features do not equal easy mode. Challenge, even extreme challenge, can coexist with options to allow gamers different from you to play the same game with the same level of challenge." Yeah, I don't want to hear any of this nonsense about how forcing developers to implement accessibility options hinders their creative vision, because the developer of God of War just said it didn't. So to say that not everybody can do it when this one guy clearly can is just ridiculous on its face.
In fact, Hidetaka Miyazaki, the game's designer and president of From Software, has gone on record to say that his games aren't intended for a highly skilled player, but instead for someone who is willing to persist.
Sorry, Miyazaki, it's 2019, and that means sensitivity isn't as simple as just live and let be. It's all about shaming you for not providing a product that conforms to my subjective sense of self-limitation. Equality isn't giving everyone the same game, it's giving everyone the same trophy at the end. And if you and your developers have to work a couple extra nights to make that happen, then that's just what you gotta do, buddy.
I don't know that we want to go the route of relying on Xbox to enforce this. Like, you don't have accessibility, so therefore you can't publish on our platform. I think it's more of a self-regulation thing where we need individual developers to realize that by not including basic accessibility options, you're missing out on a certain portion of the market.
You know, as the leader of the disabled gaming movement, I don't think we should stop at just federally mandated easy modes. I mean, when you think about it, microtransactions are cruel too. I mean, you're gonna make those guys dial in their credit card number like that over and over again. That just seems so. Oh my God, I did it. I actually did it. Oh, fuck, this is euphoric. Oh, I am a stud. Forget everything I just said. What was I thinking? Oh my God, I mean, this feeling of pride and accomplishment, I mean, this means something. It doesn't mean anything if some geriatric with a Bop It controller can do the same thing. And to think that I was gonna allow someone to have their own fulfilling gameplay experience that was different from mine without my knowing, it just makes me sick. You know, we all learned a lot today, and I think we dodged a bullet. You know, I was this close to exploiting the disabled community for my own personal gain when I should have been ignoring their pleas the entire time for their own good. So as both a pro-level gamer and an advocate for disabled people around the world, I think the answer to Sekiro's difficulty curve is clear. Get good. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, a comment, ring the bell, whatever. I'm going to leave a link down below to the Able Gamers charity. They're a foundation dedicated to improving accessibility options in video games, and I would invite you guys to join me in giving them a donation. And yeah, that's all I got. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys hopefully maybe next week. Peace.